Boom. All right. Kenman here, and we did it. We are here. You are now witnessing die project number 50. How have I done 50 of these?
Well, Dan, you haven't done 50. You still actually have a couple.
Shh. Don't listen to that. Today we are starting die project number 50, the Kubey Tityus. Justin won this on my birthday giveaway, and I need to get it all done up proper for him, KDK style, in a custom way. Let's do it. Boom. Before we start, not sponsored by anyone. Purchase everything at retail price, and I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. All right, the Kubey Tityus, Justin, Ohio, won this on my birthday giveaway a couple of weeks back, and the winning prize is basically this Kubey Tityus with a custom KDK design / work that we're going to do to it. What do you think is going to happen? Let's find out. Here's some last looks. Going to do a before and after. Boom and boom. All right. Check out the action on this. The Kubey Tityus is great. I've owned at least 3 of these. I have a couple of them right now. Going to get this one ready for Justin. But the flick out action is really nice. The thumb out is easy. You have a flipper tab. I'm actually considering doing a flipper tab delete on one of these. Comment below if you're interested in seeing that happen. But the drop is really nice. It's a heavier blade, but the action on this is just, it's a fun knife. Fun knife. You like a larger knife, feels great in the hand. Pocket clip is reversible. D2 on the steel. But we've got this big G10. Let's get to work. Okay, let's set it up for the standard die project. The way we do what we do when we do what we do. I don't know. All right. Dinner is served. Bow. Okay, whenever you take a knife apart, you really want to pay attention to everything you do so that when you put it back together, you can put it together correctly. This has a captive pivot, which means this side is locked down with like a flat spot or something, which means you only need one tool, which is great. Looks like the body screws here are also T8s, and then the pocket clip is going to be T6s. All right, so let's get these out. Boom and boom. And I'll go ahead and just take that off and switch to a T6 for the pocket clip screws right here. Pretty easy tear down when you don't have a button lock or like a crossbar style lock. Come on, I guess, of course, when I say easy tear down, then a simple screw that you feel like you've already unscrewed. All right, so there is one scale. We have one piece. There's a couple little barrels. I can't get that one off, so we'll just leave it on for now. I always pay attention to the bearings. Notice this bearing on the left is open side up, and it's open side down on this side. So they've got the closed side away from the blade and the open side of the bearing up. I figure if there's one part that I put back together the same, I think it's the bearings, just because that's where the action, the movement is. And so it may not make a difference, but if you put them back together the same way, then it should give you the same resulting action, right? Oh, like, why can't I get that off? Maybe you need to remove that screw. All right, so there we go. We've got our disassembly complete. There's the liners. And then we have our 2 scales right here. So as you can see, there's a little bit of oil and stuff on there. Any of that oil will act as like a resist. And so when you go to do the dye, you want them to be nice and clean. So I'm going to take these to the sink right now, and we're going to wash them up, get them clean, and get them ready for the dye. I will see you. Oosh. All right. We are here in the kitchen. These are now clean. I've got them on my hooks. I've got some dye heated up and ready to rock and roll. Let's get number 50 in and going. All right, first things first, you want to splash them around real good. Make sure there's no air pockets. Any air bubbles will be an area where the dye does not take the same, and you want it to be an even coat, so you want them to be nice and covered, no bubbles, no spots. We are currently in a yellow. This is kind of a bright yellow. Look at that. You can see it already taken. Our final destination color today is actually not yellow. The final color is going to be orange, but we're going for kind of a bright neon kind of pop orange. And I think by starting off and going with this yellow, the yellow is really going to bring out that lighter tone, get rid of that kind of dull jade. And then we can go from that yellow to an orange, and that's going to combine with the orange and help make it pop a little bit more. I think just a little bit of time here in this yellow, and probably not much more. We're not even going to look at these. I'm just going to move these out of the way right now. That's the neat thing with the dye, is you put a couple ounces of dye in with about 20 ounces of water, and you put it in there. You have no idea how long it's going to take. You heat it up just under boiling. The heat helps activate it. But as you can see right here, that short amount of time has already given us some yellow. I have a little water bath right here. Okay, we are going to go back in. The water kind of neutralizes the dye and shows you exactly where you're at. But when it's in here and we're splashing around, see when we take it out, it's instantly darker. So that dye, it's got this little bit of a thickness to it that when you lift it up, it's kind of still coating the scale. So it's giving you a false tone of what it actually is. It's actually a little bit lighter than that. Excuse me. So I thought it was a dark enough yellow, but in reality, once I stuck it in that water, you could see it kind of rinse down and it was a little bit lighter. I really want that yellow to pop. And the nice thing about orange, if you know about colors, yellow fades into orange easily. So as a starting color, if I get more yellow in here, it's only going to be a brighter base that when we do go to orange, it will be easy to attain that color, and we might not even need to put it in the orange for very long to get it where we want. And with jade and yellow, it's never really going to be very dark. It's especially jade's kind of see-through, so it's always going to be see-through, and that green is always going to kind of have an effect on it. But you're never really going to get it to be so dark. Even if we left it in here all day, it wouldn't get, you know what I'm saying? Like yellow versus like black. You leave it in there in black, the longer it's in there, it's just going to get dark and pretty much just black. Or like this purple here, I did the fade, so this was in for a short amount of time. You can see it's just very light, and then it slowly darkens up to this area here where it's a nice, deep, rich, thick, not translucent, more opaque color. And yellow is probably never going to get quite that dark. I think we're probably good now. Get it into this rinse. Okay. I think that's going to be good enough. So we have them here. I am going to swap out this dye for some orange, and we'll be right back. Poof, whoa. Man, these time warps, whew, they work, but Get me a little dizzy. Okay, so we've got the scales all complete. Got a nice orange here. Pretty happy with it. Color doesn't always turn out the same on the camera. I've got nice bright lights on here, but we've got a bright orange. I think it looks good. This was the last giveaway I had. Justin won this, and he got to decide how he wanted his Kubey Tityus KDK customized. So he chose the orange for the scales and then wanted a laser mark of a lightning bolt on the blade. So I made a little design and then I mirrored it so both sides can have that same style. And I did a little test, kind of figure out what color will look good with the laser removal. It's basically removing the black. I just wanted it to match that Kubey logo, so it looks like it was just all done at the same time. What's everyone think? Enjoy these all-in-one customization videos? Hit the like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let's get this thing put back together so I can get it sent out to Justin. He's been so patient. Had so many other videos and stuff that I was working on that things kind of get in order, and it took me a little while to get to it, but we are here. Let's get it together. How does this go? Kenman, do you even remember? Probably not. Where is the... Okay, so there is where the captive pivot goes through. It's in that spot right there, so that's this side. So that is going to be over there. We can reverse engineer this puppy. Get the stop pin in there like that. I remember the bearings from the video. They are open side, closed side bearings. And this one, in this case, it had the open side towards the blade. So I put closed side down. And then we will put that blade on there. Go ahead and set it there for now. We have a couple of spacers. Wait, that is the lanyard hole. Goes right there. And then we can put this other one on the opposite direction, so they're both the same way. It may not matter, but when you can put it back the same way it was from the factory, I always recommend doing that. Okay. Let's get this in here. Tityus is an awesome knife. This is actually my the third one that I've purchased. First one I did a die project on, and then I sold that one to one of my subscribers. And second one we'll look at in a second. It's my keeper. Since I love this knife, keep buying it, I want to keep one for myself as well. And so I had to get one that wasn't really plan on getting rid of. And one for me, you know. Why wouldn't I? What is going on here? Or is that also... It is. The body screws are also T8s. I threw a T6 in there thinking, and it was just spinning loose in the middle there. All right, so he is a righty, so the clip will go on this side. At least he didn't tell me to put it on the left, so this is what we'll do. And it's, you know, it's a clip. Can always give it a swap if need be. All right, and then that last screw goes in here. And we have die project number 50. We're getting buttoned up. So yeah, when we put a knife back together, I always kind of don't get it all the way tight, and then we'll tighten it down. We'll try to get that blade centered. So I'm going to now tighten the pivot all the way down, but not so tight that I won't be able to loosen it, but tight. And the blade should be, if anything, centered or a little bit to the left, which it is. Now I'm going to go in and do all the body screws, and I'm going to go back and forth once and just to make sure they're both evenly tight. And then in case one of them loses a little pressure or whatever, by tightening the other one. Doesn't always happen with body screws. Sometimes because they're both connected to that free spinning barrel in the middle. And then pocket clip screws, because they're so close to each other, you get one tight and it makes the loose one, or the one next to it, kind of relieve a little pressure. So I like to go back and forth on those a couple of times. And we are set. There it is. Boom. Oh, that looks cool. Let's get this stuff out of the way. And we'll check. You want to check the pivot is in. That looks like it's not seated quite correctly. Of course. All right, yeah, we're good. We're good. Just want to make sure that was in there solid. All right. Crank it down a little bit more. Too much. Bring it back just a little bit. Boom. So you want to make sure it's solid when it's open, which it is. Tityus has a slightly heavier blade, so it makes it drop a little bit easier. I think I could loosen this up just a little bit more. But you want to make sure that when it's open, that's when it needs to be solid. If it's got some play when it's open, you want to adjust it. See that? You can have that little release, and now that blade does what a Tityus does. Drops really well. They have great action. They're fun. The flicks out really good. You get your thumb in there and miss. Thumbs are easy as well. And then you got a flipper tab. Although this is one I'm considering doing a flipper tab removal, where you actually cut the tab off and then rely only on that hole. But that flicking hole is kind of my favorite. This knife is fun. All right, let's get some before and after shots. Here is the, put it up there, bing. Oh yeah, she looks different now. Little glamour shots of that laser mark. Matches the little D2 on this side. That orange. The black underneath kind of shows off, or makes the orange kind of a little rich and kind of darker. I can get this light. Plus you've got kind of the right angle of light. It is a little bit see-through, but not much. All right, I can get that off for a second here. But yeah, die project number 50 in the books. I'd say we'd done 50 of them, but there are a couple in limbo out there that we're going to get back to here quick and get them done. Oh, Justin, what do you think? I'm excited to get this out to you. I'm sure you're going to love it. Look at that drop, very controlled. Seems like it's all back together, nice and smooth. The Tityus is an excellent knife. Like I said, the one I have is this Ultim. The Ultim really showcases itself really well with a bigger knife, a big old piece. You can see through it really well. Same kind of action you can see as that other one. Tityus is a consistent, cool, bigger knife. Check it out, my video for this one up there. Pick yourself up one. Get one like this. You don't have to do anything to it. Or if you're into the custom projects like I'm doing on the channel, check them out. Number 50 in the books. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.